Welcome everybody to Aftertaste LA. I'm Vlad.
And I'm Nicole.
And today we're going to be reviewing and discussing our meal at Pasjoli in Santa Monica, California. A little bit about the restaurant before we get into it. It opened in 2019 and was a fine dining restaurant, tasting menu. They've since revamped to a bistro neighborhood spot. Chef of the restaurant, Dave Beran, comes from Chicago. He worked at Alinea, he worked at Next. He's won Michelin stars, he's won James Beards. Pasjoli was a semifinalist for Outstanding Restaurant in America for the James Beard. So a lot of accolades. They're known for the Tableside pressed duck, and we had that and we're excited to talk about it. But before we get into the food, why don't we talk about the restaurant a little bit? What did you think about the decor? What was the vibe like for you?
I thought it was super cute. I really enjoyed. They had little flower murals on the wall. Dark interior, but it works. It has a nice, cozy feeling, like that neighborhood spot that they're going for. Really lovely bar, lots of seats at the bar. So probably even on a busy night, you'd be able to get in there last minute at a bar seat. And yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah. We went on a weeknight, so it wasn't too busy, and we had an earlier reservation, which is kind of how we like to do it. The place is it's kind of a 2 dining room setup. You walk in, you see the bar, you go to the right. It's a little bit of a more secluded, quieter dining room, aside from the main one, which is where we were. And I kind of like that, unless I'm going there by myself and I want to sit at the bar. Or with a big group. But if I'm taking my mom, I want to be kind of in that nook area. It's a little bit quieter.
Yeah.
The music wasn't too loud. It was nice.
No, it was a nice level. And even though it's mostly tile and concrete, and sometimes it can be very echoey and loud, but I didn't feel that.
No, I didn't get that vibe.
No.
It was warm, it was inviting, comfortable seats. Can't really ask for more in a restaurant.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to talk about the drink and beverage program here?
Sure. So we have a number of options on the menu. There's a cocktail section, about 6 or 7 cocktails, a martini and snackery section, which are smaller drinks, martinis and other things, short format. And there's a mocktail section, as well as an option to do something called a cocktail card, where you can describe what you like, what you don't like, maybe what you're in the mood for. We ordered 2 cocktail card cocktails. And the drinks that came out
They were good.
They were good.
They didn't blow me away. For one of mine, if you see the cocktail card, it gives you a choice of liquor, clear or dark, profile, light and bright, rich and round, let's get weird, and then the style, shake me, stir me, fluff me. Mm-hmm. So I wanted let's get weird. I wanted dark liquor. In my avoid section, I wrote avoid rum and avoid sweet. Mm-hmm. They did not avoid sweet.
That's true.
My drink was sweet. They gave me a duck fat washed whiskey drink with a little rosemary. We didn't taste the rosemary. It tasted like an old fashioned.
Yeah.
The duck fat part is the let's get weird part. I didn't think it was weird enough for me.
Yeah.
It was a tasty drink, but it was $4 more than the regular cocktails. So in the grand scheme of things, I think it's a little overpriced for what it is, unless you really, truly don't know what you want to drink.
And the $4 extra is also significant because I ordered a martini, which is $8 cheaper?
The martinis are $14.
10 full dollars cheaper than your cocktail card. And the drink that I received was the same size, and it was very strong and very good. So that was definitely good bang for its buck.
Yeah, if I was to go back and order a cocktail, I'm definitely ordering one of those martinis for $10 less.
Yes, and my martini was very tasty. Nothing wrong with that.
But for next time, do you think it's worth it even getting the cocktails at this friendly? You're ordering French food, everything's really rich. We didn't order wine because we really wanted to try a lot of the drinks, but I think next time I might go wine.
I think I would like to start maybe with a martini.
Yeah.
With the appetizers, small plates, and then move on to wine for the large
For the
format.
mains. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes the most sense. Next time.
Yeah. Let's talk about the food.
Let's do it. Our favorite part.
Yes. Yes.
So we ordered the duck. You have to pre-order it a few days in advance. And they told us when we were ordering that it takes a little bit of time. Probably a good idea to order a few appetizers. We're going to do that anyway. So we ordered some appetizers, some French bistro classics, a couple of salads. So first thing we got was a chicken liver mousse. Pretty classic chicken liver mousse, really, really creamy, a little cherry gastrique on top, some toasty, buttery baguette. I don't really have anything negative to say here. It was fairly classic.
Yeah, neither do
It was
I.
nice. No bad notes. Next we had the Tartare, another bistro classic. You really liked the Tartare.
I did really like it. I thought the beef flavor was very pleasant and came through really nicely. I mean, I love a beef tartare, so
Same.
very, very good eating. I would order it again.
Yeah, for me it was a little salty, but that I think is mostly to do with the fact that I wanted a little bit more egg yolk. It's the tableside egg yolk where you get to mix it yourself, which is great. It's fun. I wanted a little bit more richness. And I thought the bread was a little too crispy. Kind of cut my mouth on it.
I'm really surprised to hear you say that because I like the bread and I did not cut my mouth on it. And normally I am the person cutting my mouth on the bread.
Well, the only reason I say this is because there was another bread that we had that I would have preferred for this.
Yes.
I'm more of a sourdough with a tartare versus a baguette. I want baguette with butter.
You're talking the bread you liked was the one that came with the onion souplette.
Yeah, which was awesome. Onion
Really
souplette.
nice.
It's, small format French onion soup, which is great because nobody needs a full French onion soup before an entree.
Especially if you have a whole duck on the way.
Yeah. So this was great. They give you the bread on the side to dip. It was kind of a nice brioche. Cheese was great. Broth was great. No notes on this French onion soup. It was delicious. It was the perfect size.
Yes, I love the size.
And what I like about this soup, usually when you order French onion soup, it's really hard to share a French onion soup, and they've made it shareable because they've given us some extra brioche. You can kind of dunk it. It is a really smart way to do French onion soup, so props to them for that. Next, we had a crispy tempura maitake mushroom, which the server could not stop talking about. When we asked for recommendations, this is all he could talk about. He didn't recommend anything.
It took half a second for him to
Yeah,
say
he knew
that.
right
It was
away.
immediate.
He's sneaking these in the back every single day, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's a really light and airy fried mushroom. They give you a little bitters, I don't know what to call it,
Bottle.
a little bitters bottle with malt vinegar. You can douse it as much as you want, which I appreciate.
Yes, me too.
Let me control how much vinegar I get. I think if you had it your way, they'd leave that on the table for you the whole meal. You can just kind of vinegar up anything you'd like.
Not with French cooking. Usually French cooking has plenty of lemon and other things to cut the fat.
That's true. Although, now thinking back, I probably should have put some on this salad, this tomato salad.
The vinegar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tomato salad was great. Tomatoes, some lemon cucumbers, a little house-made farmer's cheese.
I enjoyed the farmer's cheese.
It was great. Really creamy. But at the end of the day, it's a tomato salad.
Right.
If you love tomatoes, this is the perfect time to order it. It's in season.
The tomatoes were excellent.
Delicious.
Yes.
Every restaurant in LA right now
Yeah.
probably has a tomato salad. It's July.
Which is fair. The tomatoes
Sure.
right now are excellent.
And chances are any restaurant we go eat at, we're going to order the tomato salad.
There's a good chance.
Yeah.
Not 100, but very good.
So one thing about the appetizers and all the food, it all came out at once. I
Yeah.
feel like we got really bombarded where we went from 0 dishes on the table to 5. There was only 3 of us. I kind of would have liked a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah.
Maybe they were trying to rush it because they knew the timing on their duck was a certain way, so they wanted to get us there. So that's maybe just one note that I had. I felt a little rushed.
I would agree with that. And the food came out very quickly.
Yeah.
We weren't sitting there enjoying our cocktails for a little while before. It was pretty much like cocktails, food,
Yeah.
food.
It was nice, though, not having to wait.
Sure.
The drinks came out quick. The food came out quick. They're efficient. But, you know, then they cleaned this up. They cleared the table, and they wheeled out this amazing set piece, duck à la Presse.
And just the contraption itself is gorgeous.
Gorgeous. You're not going to the thrift store and finding one of these things. You have to really search for one of these things. And from my experience, I'm pretty sure they're over $1,000, if not more, for one of these pieces. They invested in this.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they kept this on the menu after they changed over. It's probably because this thing was expensive. It's what they're known for. It's why people come.
Fair enough.
So we've had one other duck press experience before. How would you rate this one versus the one we've had before?
One of my favorite things about this particular experience was the fact that the gentleman who brought it out and did it in front of us knew a ton about the duck,
Yeah, very knowledgeable.
about the process, about the history. He was speaking constantly as he was working, telling us what he was doing, why he was doing it. I felt like it was both a performance and I learned something. And I love duck, so learning about how it's prepared and how it gets to be this delicious dish put in front of me was very enjoyable. I don't know if the $350 price tag is right for it,
It is a little steep.
but I am willing to pay a little bit more to have that more fulsome experience.
Yeah,
I
for the
think
show.
the duck also tastes better after you have that information and you have that rapport with the person who's preparing this for you.
Yeah. And, you know, they've rehearsed this a bunch. One of the things that they did while they were doing this was talking about the first restaurant in France that started this and how every guest that ordered one would get this little card with a number and, like, this is the duck number that you've gotten. The amount of, you know, it's kind of like McDonald's where it's like 99 million burgers served. So we got our little card and we ordered the 23,569th duck that this restaurant has sold, and they've been open a little under 6 years.
Yeah.
Almost 24,000 ducks they've done. So
That's a lot.
what I liked about this whole preparation was, first of all, the duck was prepared beautifully. It was raw. You're like squeezing all this blood and juice. He's making the sauce, the flambe with the fire. It's a show. And they take it back to the table, perfectly cooked. They give you the legs. They give you the little salad. It's a great experience. One thing I will say is I think we needed a couple more people.
Yes.
You know, you for $350 for 3 people, we ordered a bunch of other stuff. It was a little bit too much food. If you have 4 to 6 people, next time, you know, come with a group. But let's talk about the actual dishes that came out of this duck, because they used the whole duck in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
They had the salad, Lyonnaise style salad, frise, arugula, really peppery. They've taken the duck skin, crisped it up, kind of like a little crouton, breadcrumb.
They're doing all of
topping.
that previous.
Yeah, they're taking all of their skin trim,
Yeah.
and they just have like a big tub of this duck
So it's
skin.
not technically from our duck, but it's
No.
from a duck.
Definitely, you know,
That they
since
had.
it's a Lyonnaise salad, which is typically tossed with this kind of like warmed up vinaigrette to wilt the frise, it might very well be they're taking the fat that's rendering off of our duck breast and tossing the salad. I don't know, but that's possible.
Yeah.
I think this salad definitely needed a little bit more acidity.
You know, I agree with that.
It was a duck fat vinaigrette, so
Always
already
agree.
like it's so rich. It's got the duck skin. It was delicious. I
Yes.
just think it needed a touch more acid.
Yeah. Yeah, and a touch more acid also to cut the richness of the other duck dishes, as this is meant to be an accompaniment with them.
The duck breast itself is 2 huge duck breasts.
It was a
perfectly
big
sliced. It was a big duck. Hudson Valley Farms is where they said they were from, which is my personal favorite duck that I've had in America. They're delicious. It's kind of like a cross between a Muscovy and I believe a Peking. I
Correct.
can't remember.
Yeah, Peking.
But it's a big duck. They age it for about a week in order to make this beautiful crispy skin, perfectly cooked medium rare, right?
Yeah, the cook on it was beautiful, though I did find there were a couple pieces of the fat that were chewy and
Yeah.
not so pleasant to eat. but it came out very quickly after he cut it
Yeah.
off the cage right in front of us. And I know how difficult it is to render the fat on a duck breast when you're cooking it.
Yeah.
Or at least when I'm cooking it at home.
Just in general, restaurants, timing is so challenging to be able to time everything, especially since he is not in the kitchen. He's in the dining room. He can't communicate to the kitchen how long he has left before his sauce is ready or anything like that. So they really need to be in sync and know exactly how long it takes. So for the kitchen, I believe they probably had a few more minutes. It took them a little bit longer to make the sauce, but they didn't know that.
Right.
So they brought it out. The sauce was delicious.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because the whole point
The
of
press.
the whole contraption, the whole press,
Yeah.
is the sauce. So they're putting all of these, some organ meat, the bones, the cartilage, all of the stuff that you would normally toss when you're preparing duck for a meal, and they put it in the press, and then they use the press to press it with an incredible amount of force.
Into the most adorable little porcelain teacup you've ever seen. And it's kind of hilarious to watch.
So you have blood dripping out of this beautiful silver contraption into this beautiful teacup. And that's what they add to the sauce.
It's so unapologetically French.
I wasn't sure what I was going to make of the blood sauce. I loved it. It was delicious.
I appreciated that he gave us a little bit of cooking knowledge by saying, let me turn the heat down. You don't want to add the blood to the boiling sauce because it can coagulate and kind of curdle almost and turn into this like kind of gross, clumpy crap. And he did not do that. He did a great job of making the sauce. I believe the rest of the sauce, they had some cognac, some red wine, some duck jus that they make in the back. It's a pretty classic preparation. And honestly, it probably would be a little bit better if they did it in the back and it was a little bit more controlled. But they're doing it tableside. It's part of the show.
I think it's totally worth
It was
it.
delicious.
I love a tableside dish.
And I think that French cooking oftentimes is very precise and not necessarily rustic. And this was a little bit more rustic. And I kind of like that because that's how I like to eat.
Yeah.
It's not like they're straining the sauce out and making it super silky. Like you're getting some of the bits in there. Though you're never getting this at home. You're not making this at home. That's like one of the reasons to go. Like where are you going to experience something like this?
Absolutely.
That's why they charge that much because they know you're not getting this at home. You're not going to any other restaurant in town with this.
Yeah, as far as we know, they're the only people who do that in this city.
Yeah, as far as I know. Maybe even the state. There's not that many. There's probably like less than 20 in the nation that are doing this. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
Sure. It seems like it. For the duck, too.
Well, we'll never know. One of the other things they brought out was the duck legs, which they cone feed. They gave us little mushrooms and spinach underneath. Seems like the duck legs were just kind of like deep fried.
And I thought they were great.
Yeah? My favorite part.
You love duck confit.
Yeah.
It is my least favorite preparation.
Yeah, you're a breast girl.
I am a breast girl. However,
I like a nice juicy leg.
Yes, you do. Duck confit can be a bit greasy for me, and that's why I don't like it. I did not find this one to be greasy. I thought it would cooked perfectly, seemed to fall right off the bone.
Yeah.
And a really lovely eating experience, not too greasy at all.
I actually find that the deep frying method works for me better and somehow comes out less greasy than if you pan sear the duck confit itself. And I think part of that is because when you have the duck confit, it's covered in all this duck fat. You put it in the pan, it never kind of escapes it.
Sure.
Versus in the fryer, the duck fat becomes one with the fat, the fryer grease. My one note on this, though, is we paid $350, and the mushrooms in this were creminis. And for a restaurant that is hailing itself as being, about local produce and seasonality, give me some chanterelles. It's July. We have some beautiful chanterelles starting to come in. Give me some wild mushrooms or even just the medley. I thought it was a bit boring. I thought it was a little bit of a cop-out.
I think that's fair.
But all in all, the duck experience, I think, was worth it. I think they should charge like $280 instead of $350. If I was to nitpick on the price, it's a hard pill to swallow paying $350 for a menu item.
Yeah.
But if you're with 6 people, it makes sense. You order this
Sure.
at the table, everyone gets a show.
For a special occasion or celebration, what a fun experience and worth it.
Now, I will say, if you don't go for this duck thing and you are a duck lover, there are other menu items on this menu that have duck.
Yes, this is a duck lover's menu.
Yeah. You know,
for sure.
you see it throughout the menu. There's a poutine, which actually the server did recommend the poutine, but we felt that was going to be a little bit overkill with also duck. But I love a poutine.
If we went back, sat at the bar, it seems like such a bar food.
Yeah, if you want to be a real fat ass, order the burger and the poutine at the bar. You might need a wheelchair afterwards. But...
and a coronary.
Well, you know, this is definitely not a go here every week type of place.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
This is a special occasion place. You're going here for a date or celebration.
Sure.
Or with a group.
Date would be fun.
Not a first date, though. Maybe like a third date.
It is an investment of a date.
It sure is. It sure is. You
have to make sure you like the person before you go.
Yeah. Maybe third date might be too soon.
No, third date's the one.
Third date's the one?
Third date's the one.
I mean, if you get to the third date.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know. Although, you know, you're not really going to be able to walk after the meal, so take that as you will. Well, all right, we finished off with the dessert.
Yes.
You want to talk about dessert?
Speaking of duck-inspired or incorporated things.
They fit it into the dessert.
And this is great for me. We got the duck caramel ice cream sundae. And I love ice cream. I love sundaes. I love duck. This was calling my name from the moment I saw the menu. Yeah. And I don't think it disappointed at all.
It was delicious.
It was wonderful. I loved the caramel.
It was light.
The candied
which
nuts.
Is funny to say, but for a sundae. But
yeah, it was pretty light. We did split it 3 ways, which was smart after all that duck. But the candy nuts were lovely. Nice little texture in there. Yeah. Not too many, but just enough to get that. And absolutely delicious.
Duck fat caramel. What can go wrong?
Yeah.
It was a pretty great meal.
Yes.
All in all. What do you think?
Whoever goes, you're not going to have a bad meal. A lot of things are kind of standard, which is fine because they do them well. You're going to enjoy what you order. I would strategize the drinks a little bit.
I would have liked some wine with the duck, and I feel like I regretted it after the fact.
Yeah. It's also a very meat-heavy menu.
That's true.
If you're not so much a meat person or if you're a vegetarian, well, if you're a vegan, I don't think you can step foot inside.
Any French restaurant, you know, I used to be the chef at Petit Trois, and we would have vegans come in, like, what can I have? I'm like, you can have the salad. You know, there was very little we could do.
Right.
Because everything's got butter.
Yeah. And that's just French
French
cuisine.
cooking.
And that's,
you know, there's a risotto on the menu. Mm-hmm. There's the salads. There are things for vegetarians here.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah, there are better places if you're a vegetarian.
Yeah.
You'll have a couple options, but if you're going with all vegetarians or you're choosing the place, maybe not for you.
And I will say, for the dessert, going back to the dessert, it's a French bistro. I felt like I wanted to see a creme brulee on there. There was a chocolate mousse, but there was a cheesecake, there was the chocolate mousse, and there was the sundae. I think I would like to see like a creme brulee, a Napoleon.
Well, and the other thing that struck me, a lot of places have cheese options. That's
right. Cheese dessert, a cheese board.
Pasjoli does not offer that. But it would have been nice.
Maybe they'll add it in the future. Look, this is brand new, this concept. I'm sure they're going to tinker with the menu for the next couple months, see what works, see what people are ordering, see what people aren't ordering. It's not set in stone. Before we do the verdict, let's give our overall opinion on this service. Throughout the meal, I thought that they really improved on their service. When we got up to the bathroom, our napkins were folded when we returned to our seats. They weren't really too pushy or overfilling waters too much. They were clearing plates and doing everything, you know, that you would expect for a place of that caliber to do. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I definitely think it improved as the meal went on. The beginning being a little rocky.
Yeah, they had that hiccup, but they really corrected it. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. They recovered.
Yeah. Sometimes first impressions don't last in restaurants. And that's why I like to, give them a chance. I didn't want to write it off right away. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the service sucked because this person was, not prepared. The person that greeted us wasn't our server.
Right.
We saw her for a couple of minutes. She clearly was maybe not even a server.
Yeah.
She didn't really seem like she knew what she was doing. And then our server came and everything was kind of fine after that.
Yes.
So service, I would say, was great, not exceptional, but clearly, a Michelin star worthy service. Can they improve? What can they improve on?
I do wish that I got a drink that included a stone fruit element in it, according to the menu. But when I asked about what kind of stone fruit, is it a liqueur, is it a puree, what is in here, how are they making it? Because I always am curious, can I make this at home? How would I copy this drink? He was not quite sure what was in there.
Yeah, he definitely stumbled.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing, but, it's not a huge thing.
Menu knowledge, I think, is really important for service. And I thought as far as the food goes, he was pretty knowledgeable. Yeah. And especially once the duck came out, that was just, super informative. The drinks, I think, is where they really missed on that. So.
Yeah, that was too bad.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So what is your verdict overall?
Well, out of 4 taste buds, I'm between 2 and 3. It's a challenge for me. The food was great, nothing missed. The duck was amazing, but if you're not going for the duck, I don't know if I give him a 3. I think I give him a 3 if you go for the duck and a couple of these appetizers, just because it's such an amazing experience. The duck was perfection. But if not, I think that's where I'm at. You're gonna have to break the tie.
I think I would give it a 3.
You give it a 3?
I do give it a 3. There were no misses.
That's true.
There were no misses. Everything we had was a really yummy bite.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
2 seems too low for their caliber of cooking.
Yeah. I think I'd love to go back and sit at the bar and order a burger. A burger is like another one of the things that they're known for. And I saw a few of them going out into the dining room. They looked really, really good.
Yeah.
And proper, like a big, like meaty burger, not like, the smash burger that is everywhere in town now.
Yeah.
There's few places that are doing a proper burger. So I think I'll give it a 3 with the asterisk. I'm going to go back for the burger, and I'll come back and give you a final confirmation.
Yeah, I would love to try the mussels.
Oh, they have moules frites. Love a moules frites.
Actually, I don't think it's a moules frite.
No?
I'm sure you can order French fries.
Well, there's fries on the menu.
Yeah.
There's a steak frites on the menu.
There is a steak frite.
I mean, if I'm living in Santa Monica or I'm in the area and, want like a nice classic French meal, I'm definitely coming here.
Yeah.
I'm definitely recommending it to people like, hey, what's a great restaurant in Santa Monica? If I live in the Valley, do I want to come here just for the burger? Maybe not.
Yes.
If I'm going with a group of friends for the duck, I'm definitely making the journey.
Agreed.
So, okay. 3 taste buds. Pasjoli. Check it out.
You won't have a bad meal.
Definitely not.
Thanks, guys.